So, welcome everyone. Here
Hello there.
is me and Daniele. While everyone is joining, I will present myself. I'm Enrico, cloud strategy consultant, and as usual, I will let Daniele present himself.
I'm Daniele Baschieri, full stack developer here in Cubbit. My day job is to write down the backend API of our infrastructure, but I also like to present my product to our client or person who are interested into cloud and topic like this one. Enrico, please.
So, yes, thank you. And this is our first live demo for how to set up a Cubbit account in minutes. And just in a couple seconds, we will start to. I will first explain how a bit Cubbit works, what it is. So if everyone is new here, he will know what we are, what we are doing. And then Daniele will follow with the technical part and explain to you actually how to do it manually.
It
So,
will be
uh,
an hands-on presentation, and our he is focusing on our end user, the person who actively will use the console to perform backup and to create bucket and manage their cloud infrastructure.
thank you, Daniele, for your clarification. So, I think we are pretty much about it, and without further ado, I think we can start. So, what's Cubbit? Who are we? Cubbit is a company founded in 2016 in Bologna, in Italy. So we are Italian, and what we do, we basically develop all the geo-distributed technology. We are the first in Europe to do so. And what we're doing right now is we have created a cloud object storage that's it's S3 compatible for many use cases, like for example, backup in order to be compliant. What is the 321 backup rule, and with all the logical thing for example, disaster recovery. So, in this presentation, the short presentation of Cubbit, what I want to pass to you is the fact on that we are standard on one side and particular on the other. So let's start with the first. So our storage is an object storage, as I mentioned. So it pretty much grants you all the flexibility that comes with it. And also, the cool part is that we are S3 compatible natively. So you can configure which API do you have already in your company, or for the other use cases, for example, you can configure Veeam or QNAP, Synology, and many others like Commvault and Rubrik to easily get your backups in the cloud thanks to Cubbit and its natively integration. So as a S3 compatible, we also have features like object versioning, object locking, and the really useful multi-project management and EM policies, and everyone that here you can see. And in roadmap, we also will have a dedicated partner portal when a partner can easily manage all its clients and the on all the spaces that he has acquired. So, how does it work actually? I'll go a bit on high level, and then Daniele will tell you more about it. But basically, when you upload a file in Cubbit, it gets encrypted with the standard AES 256, and then it gets split into 20 parts. These 20 parts are then redundant to 40, and each of these 40 parts is then sent to a different node in the in the network. This is peer-to-peer network that we are starting from Italy as our home, and then we will expand also very soon. We have a personalized infrastructure also, for example, in other European countries. And the key thing about Cubbit is that you don't have a file in a single data center, but everything is splitted across the network, so it guarantees you to do not have a single point of failure. But the data is redundant, so even if many nodes go down at the same time, basically you cannot lose anything. So to regroup a bit the things, what are our key advantages? The first one, as you can see, is savings, because Cubbit does not own and does not need to manage a highly cost data center with all the costs next to, for example, oxygen reduction or the maintaining, basically. And we have all-inclusive price where you do not need to pay, for example, the egress bandwidth, for example. And the second point is about security. As I told you, your files are never in one place, and so we grant you the best durability and availability for your data. And also with object lock and object versioning that I mentioned before, you can, for example, be secure from ransomware and CryptoLocker, for example. The third point is a key point for us as we do this initiative as one of the few European cloud providers. So your data is stored locally in your region and is not sent anywhere else. We are also ISO compliant 27001 and 1901, and that's our certification. We have also the very prestigious cybersecurity label. As a key bonus point, we also are more sustainable in terms of environmental impact, since this distributed networks grants us to be less impactful on our planet, since we do not overload our nodes, and thanks to the scalability, we can just provide you with the space you need. So as now, there are more than 180 companies that join this network. Maybe not some of you can recognize them, maybe someone not. We are expanding, as I told you, right now in Europe. But for example, there are big names, for example, Criff or Amadori. I'm sure you will know that today they use our network, for example, as a first or second backup, for example. So I finished my part, and I will send you to Daniele, that will be more technical and show you how to set up a Cubbit account in minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Enrico. Thank you. I would like to introduce you on how does Cubbit work. It's important to a bit understand what is under the hood of our system in order to better understand the security and also the reliability of our protocol and how everything gets scattered across Italy, for example, in our first network. The architecture is not really complicated to grasp, to understand. We can start from integration. For example, your Vim or our web console that we are going to see in a few minutes. Those integration will speak standard S3 protocol. So it's more than 20 years old standard that a lot of different softwares can speak, and it communicate with our S3 gateway. This gateway perform a translation between the S3 standard to our internal peer-to-peer protocol. And then the data will be scattered across more than 40 Cubbit cells all across your network. I'm speaking about your network because at the moment we have an Italian network, and so the perimeter of this network, for a lot of different reasons. First of all, digital sovereignty is Italy, but we can create multiple different and separate network, like for example a network in France or in different country or in different region or in different company based on the need our clients had. And then some metadata will be sent to our coordinator to orchestrate all the storage in the network. The coordinator have also another important purpose. It monitor constantly our networks and inform the network about some operation that should be done. For example, we know that we have 40 fragments for every file, but what if 3 to 5 Cubbit cell go down or broken? Hard disk are something that may die in time. And so our algorithm must be reliable no matter what, and no matter how many hard disks will fail. So the coordinator realized that some of the shards that store your file securely have been lost and start a process named recovery. He pick another Cubbit cell and regenerate the missing shard from the one that he already had. Remember, you need 20 shards to generate the missing one. So in the end, it will be able to redistribute the shards on the Cubbit cells that are still alive. This process happens automatically every seconds, moving a lot of data across the swarm. The swarm is the way we call the number of Cubbit cells that compose a network. And all those data keep moving to remain safe and available to our client, giving us an outstanding security and availability of our data. An important aspect, for example, is that this is not located in a single region. For example, we do not have a specific region where the data are stored, and if the data center go down or have troubles, the data is not available. Our infrastructure is more similar to a multi-regional. So, for example, it's similar to having data on multiple data centers, but the cost is probably less expensive than storing the data in different and multiple data centers, giving you a really powerful tool to secure your data and for example, your backups. But let's see our console work. I really would like to present this demo that introduce you to our S3 console. As you can see, this is what you will see if you try to join Cubbit. We have to perform a sign up as a first operation. In order to join, obviously, you need to provide us, for example, some information like your email address, set up a password, and start to log into our system. So let's click on sign up and start to writing down your information. So let's write my name, my email address that I will use for this demo, and then proceed further. Here I had to introduce some information for our team to better understand how we will plan to use our system and where you came from to better optimize your experience inside our tool. I have to set down how much terabyte I plan to use, and then I can continue. I set up a secure password. I always suggest during this phase to pick up a password manager because it's the best way to handle your password and your system to avoid any mistakes, and can use different passwords for every different service you will use. And some trouble with. Okay, then an email gets sent to your email account in order to activate your system. You must click on that email address to proceed further. So I'm gonna take my link and open the link. As you can see, you will be able to see an activation appearing on the top right of the windows. Then I'm gonna sign in and start using the product. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, I can only create a new project. A project is like a company. It contains data, it contains users, it contains multiple access key to access with third-party application, And this is the best way to handle all your projectuality and all your activity. I have to pick a unique name in order to do so. I call myself Simple Company, and then I proceed in creating my first project. We can also customize the image that company has. We will do it later. Then I can create my first bucket. I have also on the sidebar all the items inside my company. For example, users, policies to decide the access to the console and other stuff. I'm gonna click on create bucket on the top right of the screen, and then I specify a bucket name. Please remember, in this formalism, buckets are unique inside tenants, so you should try to avoid collision with other domain name. Like, for example, we typically use the name of the company, like a Simple Company, and then the purpose of the bucket. Then I can decide to enable versioning to have an unlimited number of versions for each file that I'm gonna upload. And I will also be able to enable object lock. Please remember, those two settings are only available at the bucket creation, so you cannot change them later. Retention object lock is like putting your file inside a safe that have a timer, a locking timer, like a bank. So those files are not deletable or editable during the locking period. Retention disabled, it means that the file do not receive a lock immediately, but only the application decide if the lock should be set or not. On the other hand, retention enable sets a timer for every file that get uploaded from the bucket point of view. And the bucket get created. As you can see, Simple Company bucket is available. And we can start using this bucket directly from the console. I can simply drag and drop some file, like, for example, this company logo file, and I can directly access those files by clicking on it and having a temporary preview to see the file. I can see some other information from the file, and I can also use this as my company bucket image, a company logo image. But I can do it using ACL. ACL is a way to collaborate between different projects or to make something public to the whole community. So in order to do so, I can go to the file in the ACL section, pick the All User tab, read access, share with ACL, and click Save. This means that this file will be available to anyone who has this link. So I can use this link to customize my company settings. So I can open project settings, click on the empty image space, and paste the new link. I can click confirm, and the company image will change. So now I will be more recognizable. In these, I can also retrieve my project ID information and also some overviews about my consumption. Let's get back to the bucket session in order to proceed further. As you can see, you can see storage and bandwidth as well in the screen. As I already showed you, we can drag and drop files. Different kind of files have different behavior. Like, for example, for zip file, they get downloaded. For image, you will be able to see the preview. We can also upload file and change them to display you how versioning will work. Let's do some sample. I will upload this very basic image. Imagine it could be a document or whatever that have some errors and some stuff that is not properly set, and we want to change it with a new version. Imagine we have performed some edit to this file. As you can see now, the file has been changed. We have some production information, we have some typo changed, and etc. As you can see, If you click that button, you enable the view of the versioning. So most of the file have a single version, but the base PNG have multiple versions, and only one of them is the final one. We can also try to delete this file, but what if we enable the versioning view? We can see a sharp to display that the fact that this file is deleted, but we can still access the past file, and we can also make it as the main version to fix it. This is also useful if the file gets corrupted or something bad happens to the file, because you can always retrieve a past version and use it. We can also configure something called bucket lifecycle to avoid that the number of versions grow too much, because we do not automatically delete past version. You have to do it manually. But we also introduced this tool named the bucket lifecycle that let you perform operation over old version. Like, for example, you have to keep it just 10 version or something like this. As I presented you, we can delete also past version because we do not have set object locking. But now let's try to enable object lock and give every object uploaded to this bucket a couple of days of lock. What does this mean? This means that from now on, when I drag and drop a file inside this bucket, this file will not be able to get deleted at the specific version. So I'm uploading this PDF, and as you can see is a specific version. If I try to permanently delete it at this specific version, I get informed that the file is locked, so I cannot delete it. I can delete it from the view as a primary file. I simply can delete it, but I can always access a past version of that file that is not deleted and cannot be deleted. Obviously, I can also create a folder to put my file in every subfolder, etc. This is quite everything about the bucket part. Obviously, bucket will be mostly used by also third-party application like Vim, but let's see how to configure a user to collaborate with inside my project. It's really easy. I will call this collaborator in order to better understand. I will invite a different email address to be able to access this software and start using it. I can set also a policy to give them access to my project. Admin is quite a powerful policy, so they will be able to behave like me and access everything I have put inside my project. So let's log out and log in with this new account. To show you what they will be able to do inside this. I have different windows with separate tabs, so it will be a different account that accesses the console. I'm writing down my data and try to log in. Typing down password is always hard. But I got an invitation, so I can accept this invitation and be able to access sample company from the S3, from our console. So I click on my project. As you can see, this account I have multiple projects because every partner that want to handle different clients can have multiple projects. As I can see, I can access all the information from the bucket, from the user, and whatever. Let's change the theme to make you understand that is a different kind of account. So this one, I'm root account, I'm the administrator. And on the other accounts, I will be the collaborator. I can remove the policy and change the privilege to a different one. As you can see, now I will no longer be able to perform some operation over policy. I do no longer have permission to access in policy with this kind of privilege. And I will not be able to upload data inside the folder because I have just done read-only policy, so I can access all the file, but I cannot edit them or upload new one. And as you can see, I will fail. An important aspect is that policy, and we have performed a video about that, have a really strong cardinality, so you can decide every action you want to do. Another important aspect is how to configure third-party application like Vim, Commvault, Synology, QNAP, and whatever. It's literally very, very easy. You just want to open docs.cubbit.io and see that we have a lot of different integration. We have guides that guide you on how to configure those clients. Almost every client that you have to configure have some steps that are mandatory. First of all, you will need API keys. So let's create a new key, like for example, a key for Vim. So I will call the key Vim in order to be able to remember what this key will be used for. We have an access key ID, a secret key, and we will be able to use those keys inside the Vim windows. In order to configure Vim, you just had to have an object repository, and then you have to select S3 compatible, and finally put the s3.cubbit.au as an endpoint, US1 as a region, and then finally set up a new credential system, putting down your S3, your Cubbit key. As you can see, this is my key, and I can revoke it anytime and to deleting it. I think I've almost present you everything. I just want to show you the profile, so you will be able to change your email address, to change your password, but most important of everything, to set up your two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication will be compatible with almost every application that handle it. It's based on a security protocol that generate a temporized token, like for example 6 numbers, to access the console. As you can see, I will provided a list of already generated token to use in the future, and then the famous QR code that you have to scan with your custom application, and then you set up the code and configure the two-factor authentication. This is paramount important because it increases the security of your account by a lot. Multi-factor authentication is the way we keep safe our client from themselves almost, because one of the typical situation is that your password get leaked by other application, because maybe you use your password somewhere else, and then they can access other clients reusing your password. So having a multi-factor authentication avoid that an attacker that do not have your physical phone can access your account. So it's really important. Well, I think it's everything. We can get back to this slide. Hope you enjoyed this presentation, and if there's any question about the tool, about the system, feel free to ask.
So thank you, Daniele, for your clarity. And that was a live demo. I don't know if you have any questions. You can write down in chat, and we'll respond to you as soon as possible. And you can also, through the QR code, schedule a call with us, and so we can talk further on some of the application and use cases that your company might have.
Absolutely, Enrico.
So, I don't see any questions. The chat. I think we were pretty clear. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's. If there's any doubt, you can also check the documentation that we provide, and also you can contact us to describe your use cases. We simply present the console, so how you can access Cubbit from the software we provide you, but in a lot of different videos, we also present how to integrate Cubbit with different tools that you may already use in your company. The most important part is being compatible with S3. It means we are compatible with almost everything your company will already use. So no effort to learn a new tool to get incompatible with us. And this easy access is really a key value when adopting a new technology.
Exactly. Like since the S3 standard came along in 2006, became the standard of storage and also object storage. So that's why we chose it, and we are using it. And the companies are loving it since they don't need to change their complete infrastructure, and they can set up a new repository in minutes.
But they can add a great value to the company by simply making a second line of backup in the cloud, in our cloud, to be able to protect their data against ransomware, against every kind of attack, also internal attack of the company, or accidental damage to their primary backup system. That's really bring value on the table.
Sure. Well, since I see no questions, I don't know if there are problems, or maybe we have been very clear. I'll just tell you the coming events that will be on the 19th of October. It will be a live demo for Vim and Cubbit, so a pretty useful use case, and you will receive the invitation later on with the email, and that's it. So thank you everyone for joining in, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Thank you too, and hope you have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.